Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how to crochet a baby chick. Okay, let's start off with the materials you will need. So first, you're going to need a 6mm hook. You will need a stitch marker, a sewing needle, and then you will need a pair of scissors. Then you will need some cotton to stuff your little chick. By the way, you can to this chick safety eyes or some black string. Back to what I was saying, my main body color, our comb, and then our beak. You can use any color for the beak and comb and the body. I'm just gonna go with these colors. So let's get started. Okay, so we want to go ahead and grab our main body color. Now first we are going to make a slip knot. Okay, now once you make your slip knot, you are going to chain 2. 1, 2. Okay, now you're going to do 6 single crochets, not into the first stitch, but into the second stitch. To do a single crochet, you insert, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. And you're going to do 6 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there you have a magic ring. You can make a magic ring and do 6 single crochets, but today I'm just going to use the chain 2 method, and we're going to be working in the round. So we will not slip stitch and chain, we will just be going round and round. So now you want to go ahead with your stitch marker and place it into the last loop. I like to put it in the last one. If you prefer the first stitch, you can go ahead and do that. Now on to the second row. Okay, for the second row, we are going to go to do 2 increases, an increase into every stitch. So that will bring us a total up to 12. Be sure to put a stitch marker in. You can count, but I prefer to put a stitch marker in. And count your stitches to make sure you have 12. Okay, I have 12. Now for the next row, we are going to do row 3. As for row 3, what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch. So 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So it's a single crochet increase, and do that all the way across. So single crochet and then increase. In the amount of stitch count that you were doing it right, you will end on an increase. And put your stitch marker in, and that should have brought us up to a total of 18. So count your stitches. Okay, I have 18 stitches. Now onto the second row. Now we are going to go to do 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then an increase. And to know that you are doing that right, again, you will end on an increase. And this should bring us up to a total of 24 stitches. And again, you should end on an increase. Insert your stitch marker, and you should have a total of 24. And count your stitches. Okay, I have 24 stitches. Now we are going to do 3 single crochets, then an increase. This should bring us up to a total of 30 stitches. So 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and then we will do a increase. Do that all the way across, and we should have a total of 30 at the end of this row. Okay, now that we're at the end of row 3, we should have a total of 30 stitches. Be sure to count and put your stitch marker in. Okay, I have a total of 30 stitches, and now we are going to do a row of single crochet. It's just single crochet in each stitch, and we should have a total of 30 stitches. Also, I just wanted to point this out. This is the bottom of the chicken, and mine is pointed. It's okay for it to be pointed like that because that happens a lot, but when you stuff it, it just like kind of straightens out because like it's like that, like the stuffing pushes on it and it's like flat like that. Then I push it in, but anyways, just so you know, so you're not stressing about it, just trust the process. You're gonna get your chick. Okay, I'm done with row 3. Put your stitch marker in, and again, count your stitches. Okay, I have a total of 30 stitches. Now we are going to do 4 rows of single crochet. Okay, now that I did my 4 rounds of single crochet, we are going to take our stitch marker out, and we're going to fold this in half. And also, get your stuffing ready. You're definitely going to need more than this, but this is what I just have for now to start it. So what you want to do is you want to fold it in half, like this, and you're going to single crochet between both. So you're just going to insert into this side, and then you're going to insert into that side. And you're just going to single crochet to about like right here. Just stuff it. So again, just through both sides, single crochet. If you don't want that extra height, you can just do a slip stitch, but I prefer this because a slip stitch will be on the side of the chicken, and I just prefer single crochet. Okay, now that I'm right here, I'm gonna pull my hook out, and now I'm going to stuff my chicken. And if you need to back up a little bit more, on your stitches, you can. So just stuff it. You can make it squishy, or you can make it sturdy. And I'm gonna grab me some more stuffing and stuff the rest. Okay, one thing I wanted to point out to you is when you're stuffing it, kind of just like push in the middle to kind of give it that curve. If you want to, if you want it like that, you can sew it, but I just prefer just kind of like laid back chicken that's just straight like that. Okay, so now we're gonna put our hook back in. Let me get this stuffing out of the way. Okay, so now that we did that, you're gonna put your hook back in. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't gonna add eyes, but I think this guy would be cute with some eyes, so I'm just gonna use some black string. You can use safety eyes, so if you're wanting to add safety eyes to him, go ahead and do that right now. And where you're gonna place it is between this row and this row. So in between 10 and 9, so like right here. But like what I would do is I would fold it up, put it in, and I think a 10mm safety eye would be the best. Actually, you know what, a 12mm, because if you want your like chicken to stand out a lot, but since I'm using black string and sewing it, I don't have to put those in right now. And if you want to, since this head isn't as stuffed because it's the hole, you can just keep stuffing every stitch. So again, we're just gonna single crochet all the way across. Okay, so now that I've single crocheted all the way across, you're gonna chain 1 and just cut your string. You don't have to be a long tail. I'm probably just gonna do like right here. Get these stuffing out of the way. And then you just pull that through. And now you have your chick body. It's so cute without a head. Honestly, it kind of looks headless, but let's get to the sewing details. All you gotta do is you can bring your hook through, but I don't feel like pulling stuffing out, so I'm gonna use my tapestry needle. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's get started on the comb. If you want your comb to be really tight, I would use a 4mm hook. Okay, first thing we want to do is start off with a slip knot. Well, y'all already probably know how to do that. So make a slip knot. Once you have your slip knot, you can go to the end. I'm going right here. And you're going to insert into the first single crochet like that. And we're just going to pull. So like you insert, yarn over, pull that, and then just pull that second loop through that first one. It might be tricky, you might have to do it again. But yeah. So now you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to do 3 double crochets into that first stitch. To do a double crochet, hold on, let me get through this first one. You're going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that is my second one. Now I got one more. So do a total of 3, and with that chain it counts as 1, so that's technically 4. So now that you got that, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. And now you're going to yarn over, and into the next stitch do 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. I didn't mean 4, I meant 3 double crochets, and you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to slip stitch into it. And to do a slip stitch, you just insert, pull up a loop, and pull that loop through. Sorry, it's a little tricky, especially when you have a lot of stitches in one stitch. And then you just pull that loop through that one. Okay, so now you're going to chain 1, and if you want to do a third one, you can, but I just prefer 2 like that. So there is your comb. If you want to do another one, just do 3 half double crochets, and to do a half double crochet, you just insert, pull up a loop, pull through 3, and just cut off just a little bit, not a long tail, because it'd kind of be wasting yarn, but long enough to sew into the head. And now you're going to just pull that. You can pull it with the hook. I'm just going to use a needle to do it. Okay, so now let's sew on the eyes. If you've already put eyes on, you can just go ahead and fast forward to when I sew the beak on. So technically what you want to do is grab your black yarn. You don't have to do a long tail, but if you want to do it long enough to where you can sew on both eyes at one time, I'm just going to do that so it's a bit easier. And then this is just some thick string, black string I found. For mine, I have to sew it really thick because obviously this is a black, white, and stuffed chicken. So I'm gonna go between row 10 and 9 and going through 9. And I don't want mine too big. I'll probably just I'll let y'all figure out how you want to sew the eyes on. You can look it up on YouTube or anything, but I'm just gonna kind of sew these kind of like a sleeping chicken. Maybe not a sleeping, but kind of like sleeping, kind of like I did my dragon. So I will come back when I get the first eye done. Okay, so now that I got that eye sewn on, I'm just gonna go over here in between row 10 and 9 and just do the same exact thing. Okay, so now I'm done with eye 2, as you can kind of see that. It's kind of hard to see this one because it blends in right with black, but now we're just going to sew it right back over to where we started with this intel, and then we're going to tie a knot and tuck it in. So tie that knot. I'm going to double knot it because if people start pulling on the eyes, that is not going to be good. And yes, this is my own pattern. I came up with it myself. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how you like it. Let me know if there's anything that you think I might need to change in it. But then just cut those extra strings. And now you're just gonna tuck that knot in. So I'm just gonna use my hook or whatever you want to tuck it in. And now we're going to sew the beak on. So technically to do the beak, you're just gonna do just a little long string of the yellow or orange or whatever color your beak is, blue, however creative you get. You can sew it right by the eyes, but I like to go a little bit under, so I'm gonna come from down here and then go up to the beak because I want to be able to tie it off somewhere. And we'll just go across like that a couple of times to where it makes and forms that cute little beak. You can make the thickest beak, you can make a high beak to where the eyes are under it, however you like, but I'm just gonna do it this way. So yeah. Also, if you chisel white, those black eyes would definitely stand out, but apparently I didn't. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop right here. Yeah, I think that's good for me. Yeah. You can pull it on and tight so it closes it a little bit. And now we're just gonna put it in and go back to that same exact stitch of where that is. Now we're gonna double knot it. Just stuff your thing in. Now you are officially done with your cute little baby chick. By the way, I also crocheted a mama. If you want to crochet a mama, just do the same exact thing, except when you're going here, you just keep going 4 single crochet, increase 5 single crochet until you get the bottom length if you want, and then just single crochet all the way up. But such a cute little pair. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to crochet a baby chick, or you use this to make a mama chick. If you want your back to be completely straight and flat, just whip stitch it, but like her, I wanted it to be up like that. And if you want to add wings or feet or whatever you want to, you can go right ahead, it's your chicken. But I hope you enjoyed my little cute pattern of this chick. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye y'all.